Chapter 9. A Visit to a Dentist. As soon as the nurse saw Fudge, she said, "How's my favorite patient?" She gave him a hug and a little book to read. To me, she said, "Good morning, Peter. It bums me up the way people treat Fudge. He's not so special. He's just little, that's all. But someday he's going to be 9 years old too. I can't wait till he is. Then he'll know there's nothing so great about him after all." Soon the nurse said, "Fudge, Dr. Brown is ready for you. Come with me now." Fudge took the nurse's hand. "Dr. Brown has this rule about mothers in the examining room with kids. They're not allowed. Mothers are a big problem, Dr. Brown told me once." I agree. I looked through a magazine while we waited. After a few minutes, the nurse came out and whispered something to my mother. I looked up, wondering what the big secret was. Then my mother said, "Peter, Dr. Brown would like you to help him with Fudge." "Help him?" I said. "I'm not a dentist." The nurse said, "Peter, dear, if you'll just come with me, I'm sure everything will work out fine." So I went with the nurse. "What do I have to do?" I asked her. "Oh, not much. Dr. Brown just wants you to show Fudge how you open your mouth and how he checks your teeth." "What have I to do for that?" I asked. "I don't need a checkup yet. I just had one last month." "Your brother won't open his mouth this morning," the nurse whispered. "He won't?" I whispered back. "No, he won't," she said again. I thought that was pretty funny. I never considered refusing to open my mouth at the dentist's office. When he says, "Open," I open. When we reached the examining room, Fudge was sitting in the big chair. He had a towel around his neck and looked ready for action. Dr. Brown was showing him lots of little things and explaining what he does with each one. Fudge kept nodding, but he wouldn't open his mouth. "Ah, Peter," Dr. Brown said, when he saw me, "would you open your mouth so that I can count your teeth?" That's what he tells little kids. He's doing counting their teeth. Little kids will believe anything. I went along with Dr. Brown's joke. I opened my mouth very wide, much wider than when I'm the real patient. He put his mirror in and said, "Wonderful teeth. Just beautiful. A regular chip off the old block. Such a shame Fudge can't open his mouth the way you do." "Can be so," Fudge said. "No," Dr. Brown told him. "You can't open your mouth nearly as good as Peter." So Fudge said, "Count Fudge's teeth." Well, Dr. Brown pretended to think about it. "Count," Fudge shouted. "Well," Dr. Brown said again, scratching his head, "I guess as long as you are here, I might as well count your teeth." So he checked Fudge's mouth. When he was through, Fudge said, See, just like Peter." "Yes, Dr. Brown said, smiling. "I can see that you're just like Peter." He gave me a wink. I liked the way Dr. Brown tricked Fudge into opening his mouth. So when he was through examining him, I whispered, "Couldn't you make Fudge some false teeth till his grown-up ones come in?" "No, he'll just have to wait," Dr. Brown said. "But he looks like he has fangs." I told him, "You'd better not say that in front of your mother," Dr. Brown said. "I know it. She's not too big on fangs." Dr. Brown thanked me for helping him. My mother made another appointment for Fudge. The nurse kissed my brother goodbye, and we left. "That wasn't so bad, was it, Peter?" my mother said. "It could have been worse."